So today the topic I want to talk about is a very important topic. It's political, of course. On some level, politics affects all of us. And I know that it can be a very difficult pill to swallow for a lot of people to come to the understanding that the world of politics within Africa, much like global politics, is largely influenced by individuals who are involved with the occult. Many of us tend to perceive events at face value, but a lot of people actually are coming into the understanding that the political landscape of our nations is, in most cases, if not all the cases, shaped by those who practice witchcraft and sorcery. That's just the facts. I believe that politicians of influence are often affiliated with secret societies or cults seeking to harness occult powers. So in this video, I want to discuss the arrest of HSTV journalist Blessed Mhlanga. And I want to explore the meaning behind his arrest and its potential true purpose. So in a previous video, I discussed the concept that Zimbabwe's government has allegedly been involved in crafting heroes for the people as part of a social engineering strategy. In fact, that was my last video. Now, it is alleged by many that high-level politics is governed by witchcraft and magic. Therefore, magic is practiced on a ritualistic level to make certain events transpire according to numerology. To fulfill a particular will, there's always someone with a particular agenda that they are fulfilling, and they use numerology to actually fulfill that particular agenda. And of course, at the back of all of that is demonic spirits or, some type of unknown spiritual energy. And that's most likely going to be classified by believers as demonic. So the arrest of Blessed Mhlanga has a numerological and esoteric significance, and we're going to talk about that. When I look at it, all I see is a narrative-driven script with a numerological component, and I'll tell you why. This arrest, in my view, appears to have been carried out through calculated means to fulfill certain numerological components of the magic and the spell casting that is necessary for the continuance of power or the opposite of that. So let's begin by examining the name of this arrested journalist. That's Blessed. Now, I ran through Blessed's name, the name Blessed, through the gematria calculator, and it yielded the number 66. Very interesting, I thought. If you recall, the liberation struggle's inception was in the year 1966. 66 is associated with Molech, the god Molech. Alright? It's my belief that the liberation struggle, though presented as a fight for freedom, was in a deeper sense a sacrifice to Molech. Now, if you recall, Blessed interviewed another Blessed, also known as Comrade Bombshell, and it's intriguing how the paths of these two men from two different generations converged, resulting in this interview that significantly shook and shifted the political landscape of this country. One might attribute it to fate, that these men with the same name encountered each other, and one may perceive it for what it truly is, which is the fact that these men met by design. Both men are called Blessed, that is, Blessed Geza and Blessed Mhlanga. The numerological value of the name Blessed is 66, as you can verify with gematria. This can be further broken down to the number 11 appearing 6 times. So 66 really is the number 11, 6 times. This mathematical relationship establishes 11 as a core component of 66, making 11 the essential starting point for any analysis. So this is where it becomes more compelling. The number 11 represents the twin pillars in Freemasonry. In other words, the initiate passes through the twin pillars to begin his instruction. This is akin to Zimbabwe's entrance into a period of uncertainty, as was the case in 1966 when we entered a period of war. The number 11 also relates to DNA activation. For example, in academic contexts, one might say Psychology 101. In essence, the O symbolizes the scholar or the initiate entering a specific subject matter through the twin pillars, which is the 1-1. So that's 101, the O being that corridor that one enters. So the number 11 also signifies being even with L, which means God. So L means God. L even. That's how you get the number 11. For those who have seen my breakdowns of the Zimbabwe bird, you might recall my teachings about the chevron pattern on the Zimbabwe bird and on the wall at Great Zimbabwe. I stated that the chevron was in fact 2 ones and that it represented man and spirit guide. The chevron and the number 11 are related in that aspect, specifically in their connection to DNA activation and one's elevation toward godhood. Now, have you ever glanced at the time at exactly 11:11 consistently for days and wondered about its significance? Like, what is this 1-1-1-1? Why do I keep looking at the time when it's exactly 11:11 or maybe 11:44? And you look at it 11:44 in the morning and you so happen to be glancing at the time at 11:44 at night, and this keeps happening consistently. Some might suggest that these occurrences are due to you being synchronistically aligned with your purpose. So such an interpretation will be common. So we know that numbers have a bearing on what's really going on in our lives. Now, we know that Blessed is inmate 2344. And this number, in my view, has a bearing on our understanding of his overall goal and purpose within the political sphere of Zimbabwe. Let's examine inmate 2344 numerologically. One way to approach this is by adding 2 + 3 + 4 + 4, which results in 13. This number relates to Blessed Mhlanga's initials, which are BM. Firstly, because B is indeed equal to 13. So the letter B is a false letter. It's really the number 13. On the other hand, M is the 13th letter of the alphabet. Those who sanctioned the arrest of Blessed are concealing things in plain sight. That's what they're doing. So when you're looking at 2344, you're looking at the number 13, which really is BM, Blessed Mhlanga. Those are his initials. So that's what tells you that it's all happening on a script. And I've already shown you how. Because if you add 2 + 3 + 4 + 4, you are getting 13. And that's B. The letter B is 1-3. And the letter M is the 13th letter. So you got BM. That's all hidden right in front of your face. I want you to go over that in your mind. Now, let's analyze the double numbers 23 and 44 within the 2344. The number 23 represents a life or the creative force. It also relates to DNA. It becomes even more intriguing when we connect it to the 23rd letter of the alphabet, which is W, or 2 V's. When you look at a W, that's really 2 V's, which is the essential component of the chevron. So we're back at the chevron again. We're back to 2 ones, which symbolize man and spirit. Observe how we are essentially drawn back to the number 11. which signifies even with El or even with God. So no matter how you look at it, it keeps bringing you back to that elevation into godhood. So Blessed is undergoing a ritual, possibly connected to Freemasonry. Through persecution, Blessed is in fact receiving his blessing. He is being elevated, and that's blessing in quotations. He's being elevated. All of this, I emphasize, is alleged. Blessed will emerge from this incarceration transformed from who he was upon entering. It's my belief that this arresting ritual is a means related to the role that he is allegedly playing within the politics of this country. The number 44 represents the Great Mother, a symbol of the divine feminine. For those who viewed my breakdown of the Zimbabwean flag from a Freemasonic perspective, you might recall my discussion on the initiate's journey past the twin pillars to receive nourishment from the Mother Goddess. In other words, Blessed represents the initiate undergoing his humiliation ritual in order to be elevated in the craft. For us to truly grasp the power of 44, we must consider the insights of esoteric scholar R. Allendy. Allendy states that 44, and I quote, must logically link the principle of the periodic mutations of the nature to the cosmic manifestations of those, end quote. So in the context of Zimbabwe, this means that Blessed's arrest happens at a critical juncture, a moment when the nation stands at the cusp of a significant cyclical change, a transformation. This change, this periodic mutation of nature, is not merely a political shift. It's a deep societal evolution, a potential rebirth. The arrest of Blessed Mhlanga, therefore, must be interpreted as an attempt to control and contain this very transformation. By encapsulating a figure who has captured the nation's imagination, those in power seek to manage and direct the flow of this cyclical change. They aim to channel their energy, the cosmic manifestation, into a form that serves their agenda. The public's vicarious experience of this arrest, the surge of excitement followed by a calculated dampening, is a form of social engineering. It's a manipulation designed to stir the collective consciousness and then subdue it until the next phase of the cycle. This watering down of the excitement, the orchestrated ebb and flow, is a deliberate strategy to control the narrative, to manage the periodic mutations that threaten the established order. Because these mutations happen periodically. And as I said, we have been on the cusp of that change that's supposed to happen in this particular period. So in essence, Blessed's arrest is not merely a legal event. That's a ritualistic act, a symbolic attempt to harness and direct the powerful forces of change. That's deep. So the number 44, in its connection to both the Great Mother and the cyclical nature of existence, signifies this struggle for control, this attempt to manage the cosmic manifestations of Zimbabwe's transformation. It emphasizes how, in the eyes of those who practice these arts, the control of an individual controls the energy of a nation. This is how they hope to ride the waves of change, rather than be consumed by them. They're smart. So the creation of the hero is very important for the powers that be, because the hero as a center of attraction or as an idol for the people allows them to access the people's consciousness and to manipulate it toward whatever ends they please. This is why hero worshipping has never been anything that someone should partake in. Making idols for yourselves, making somebody an idol, it takes you out of your own power, and you start to give your attention to things that are not going to do anything for your life. The only thing that you can truly change is yourself. You can look out there into the world and hope that you can change it. But the truth is, that's near impossible. What you can change is yourself. Until next time, peace.